start? You didn't do any countdown.
Can I start talking?
You didn't do a countdown.
I said I'm gonna start, and I started.
Button.
Yeah, press the button.
Great. All right. Well, welcome to the show. Our esteemed colleague. What's your nickname? Okay, he doesn't have a nickname. He's just John.
I mean, what's your nickname on the
Gramps.
show? Seriously.
And he's medium J.
It's a good thing you guys brought me on this show because we need to talk about these horrible names. Alright,
So I guess that's going to be one of the topics of discussion tonight.
I'm getting right into it, guys. I'm getting right into lightning round right here. Gramps. Gramps. Gramps is pretty good because you complain a lot, man.
Yeah.
Like you're literally like
a grumpy old man.
and you got like back problems and shit.
And
like
Grandpa Prius, it works.
Well, Prius thing don't work because it got no grandpa in his right mind. I don't care even 100 years from now. He's driving Prius.
That's not true. Everybody's going to be driving an electric or a Prius.
Yeah, an electric car, but not a Prius.
Electric Prius is going to be electric. Priuses already are electric. The new ones are
No. You're not listening to what I'm saying. Electric cars, correct. And Priuses will exist, correct. And Priuses will be electric cars, correct. But here's the problem. No prospective mind is going to drive a Prius.
Why? What's wrong with the Prius?
These are shit.
How? What's bad about it?
First of all, Prius is ugly. I mean,
that doesn't mean anything. Any car can be ugly. It doesn't reduce its drivability.
First of all,
brown car is being ugly, no matter what the shape.
You're right. Brown cars are ugly.
It doesn't mean that they're bad cars to drive.
Well, yeah, it does. It means you have to have a sense of joy when you're driving your car, right? And no grandpa's gonna be having fun driving Prius, all right?
Except for my dad.
I got busy.
No,
exactly.
15 years.
Exactly.
He'll still be driving a Prius.
No, 15 years. He's gonna be like, because your dad's gonna have like a midlife crisis here in the next 10 years. He's gonna get a sports car. He's gonna get like a low-end Porsche. Got a two-door Roadster convertible. He's gonna be cruising down the West Coast with his girlfriend or whatever. And you're gonna see him only on the holidays. And you're living
in a warehouse somewhere.
In a warehouse, apparently. That's what you're doing with your life right now.
Or I'll be sitting here screaming.
And that's what happens when you drive a Prius. That's the life you lead. You're like, you don't need fun. You just need knowledge. Now Medium J, that's just...
He wanted to be like Big J or something.
Big J is ridiculous.
No.
He should just be called what your Discord name is. J-Dog Duke.
Zach didn't want me to be like that.
Too long.
You can just, but you can always be like, just turning it down to J-Dog.
I just told him to call me Jay, and then Zach's like, no, I'm going to call you Big J because you're fat.
Dookie, like, we call him the Dookie.
You don't want, that's what shit means. I'm going to take a Dookie.
No.
Oh my god.
J-Dog.
Alright, Gramps and Jay, perfect.
Gramps and J-Dog. Dog, not dog. It's gotta be dog.
No, J. Gramps and Jay.
Now, I won't say any more about the dog because we don't want to get into copyright infringements. I won't go into the little jingle there. Well, have you ever seen like as a bounty hunter, dog and bounty hunter? Got a little theme song where he's like the dog.
No.
Yeah, you should look it up. It's good. It's a good show. What's great about him? He's always telling Taser in the face, "You need to find Jesus." He goes in there. And you're coming away, and the guy's like, "Why? Well, you've been smoking too much meth or whatever, right?" And then he tasers the guy. He's like, "If this wouldn't have happened if you found Jesus, bro. You need to let Jesus into your life." That's the dog. the show?
Okay.
Oh, I keep talking. All right. I feel like I'm doing all the heavy lifting here, guys.
Well, you were.
Jay, now, what's your how's Supremacy 1914 going?
I don't play it.
Here, where you just post about 1914.
I mean, you were. The
I
one
mean,
who
if
sent
you
me-
listen to the podcast that we recorded yesterday, you'd understand.
You sent me a link to the podcast.
It's on Facebook. Well, you haven't sent me the yesterday's yet. So
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you.
the one from Saturday, but not yesterday's. No, I actually started playing that game. It's pretty stupid.
Funny, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work and it just takes so much time.
Oh my
There's
god,
nothing that really happens instantly.
it
It's
takes
all
so
drawn out.
long. It's so long. It's such a long
It
game.
takes 24 hours.
Jordan
just to
got
kill
so
it.
mad back in our third year at SMSU. 'cause
Second.
I just dropped out. I just sent all my guys to attack. I was like, Jordan, just so you know, I attacked everybody. He's like, why you do that? I was like, no.
Yeah, it's because I was controlling all of South Africa or South America,
Yeah, I had control of like.
and you had a fucking island. You had a goddamn island. Or you were gonna go like you started attacking like Africa.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Or nothing.
Oh.
I don't even know what happened after I sent the attack. I never went back on. I was just like, I'm gonna send, and I had a lot of guys. I mean, I probably tore shit up. But I don't know. So, what does our podcast have here?
Like made the YouTube channel like
You guys should
Anything
like
you need
add
to
it
know.
on the Twitch. You should Twitchify this.
Hey, that's what I told Zach. I told him we should do YouTube,
in order to live
Twitch,
stream that
Apple.
Twitch. The only way I can stream it to Twitch is if I have like some game window open.
What?
There's no way I use XSplit. So I use XSplit. to stream
Why?
it, and you can only use because you can't open XSplit or you can't stream XSplit without having a game window open.
Use OBS.
OBS doesn't work.
Use
I
OBS.
tried World of Warships today.
Please.
It's the same thing happened as with PUBG.
Use OBS.
It's a black screen. I don't know why it doesn't work, but
It's because you have to make your scene.
really went through all
let's
the
just
steps.
take a second here, and let's just criticize the fact that Zach plays State of Decay.
I don't even know what that is.
It was so bad. I bought it. Oh
Okay.
my god, it's so hard. You can't even get any cheats. You have to get a cheat engine, and that's
You
sketchy
don't.
as shit.
Have a car around, and then you get a burn. Then when that car lights on fire, you get another one.
There's no more cars.
Then you just restart the game.
Yeah, exactly. You
Like,
don't
I've
get that far.
never run out of cars.
I've never gotten past the first city. It's just so boring. It's so hard.
I think it would
There's
be.
just the zombie hordes pile up so fast because unless you play, because in real time, it like counts your real time hours, clock real time hours.
Because then when you log back in, like your morale has gone down.
Yeah, and
your
it's
food's
like it's
gone
just like,
down.
oh my god, like come on, that's ridiculous. That's like the worst feature of the game. It's damn near unplayable unless you're playing
No,
it
it-
like 8 hours a day.
It had good things and it
Um,
had bad things.
I like the overall mechanics of like how you train your dude and how you
Its graphics were really
the
good.
graphics were okay, but like it just was like hard.
Yeah.
Like the whole
I didn't
off-
like how you if you flipped a car, you automatically jumped out. You couldn't like actually roll a vehicle and get it back up. Like.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And also,
And then it blows
for like such a low graphics, you needed a seriously strong computer to actually run that game correctly, or it was like incredibly laggy.
Mine didn't lag even on.
Well,
this
yeah,
thing.
but this thing you have a really good computer.
Yeah,
I mean, I had like some crap
this thing can't
Dell
even-
$100 Dell laptop, man. It couldn't run State of Decay. Like it was so laggy.
The first time I tried playing it on my old laptop, it was like I couldn't play it.
Ridiculous because it's like not that like ain't a whole lot going on in it.
It's just a lot of particles. That's all.
I'm gonna light a match.
Please don't light your clothes on fire.
Oh my god.
It's trying to light my mic on fire. Fire. He's like waving the smoke in my face.
I'm trying to cleanse you.
Smoke's not
I mean, he is being pretty negative today.
Huh?
Yeah.
Spirituality is gonna cleanse you.
How about that World of Warships game?
I played it. Free game.
For free.
It's okay.
The graphics and the sound are great.
But the problem with this game is games that unless you pay money, it sucks. Period.
That's because if you buy those special credits,
they're
you just
really-
buy a really big ship and they're invincible.
Yeah. And that's the
what all
problem
the big
is
players
like
do.
and that's the problem is like there's
Level up.
yeah, so the problem is that you get in the game and if there's one guy who's actually bought a ship, it's not even worth playing.
They have it set up so that when you enter the lobby, it's really only the players in your specific class. You're not going to find some.
That's true. You're no.
Unless you're like level 30.
That's true. You're not going to like super small boat against like one of the bigger ones. But even like when you have a guy who's paid a lot of money, best boat of that class and upgraded all the way, and you're going to be out of your league completely. Have you ever played this game, Jordan?
Nope. I think it looks really bad. I mean,
I've
playing
only played
versus
it,
bots all the time.
The graphics
Play
aren't
versus-
that bad. They're actually pretty nice.
You play versus bots. How's that skillful?
In bots, it's kind of fun because you don't have to worry about that whole aspect of guys who just paid like $300 to be good at this game, which is insane.
Well, the problem is
But-
even the bots, like they're not just going to sit there and do nothing. They're still going to shoot you. So it's not like you can just sit there and do nothing.
Yeah.
You still have to kill them. Like earlier, I was playing like I had 5 real players on my team and 5 on the other, like 3 bots. Made for a competitive game because it was really even.
Yeah, to be honest, it's probably got the best enemy of any game I've ever played.
Yeah, because it's a game where it's really about who gets there first. Because you all pretty much have similar health and similar damage.
Well, it's just about like who can aim.
Yeah. If you land your shots first and more often, you're gonna kill the other guy. Your ship, so unless you buy the bigger ones.
See, I always wanted to get to the point where I was like a carrier, so I could have planes.
That's what I wanted. But I'm willing.
It's just it's so hard. It's so hard to level up. I got up to level like 15. I was just done grinding it. It's just.
Because you run into a problem where in those middle levels.
And I played the World of Tanks one, which is like the same shit.
That's the one Jordan's obsessed with.
What?
Like the same thing. You have the same exact problems. The graphics is exactly the same. The AI is pretty much the same. I think it's probably made by the same company, to be honest. I don't know. Reality, but it's okay. But it's just unless you want to pay like $300 to be good, it's.
Well, it's not even to be good. It's just you just buy a better thing and then you're.
No, I mean to be good because like World of Tanks, competitive game, in terms of its people who play it, warships, a lot more people play it and a lot more people stuff. So like, except for when you're 3 size categories of or not even that, unless you're in the first 2 size categories of tanks, like half the players on the map bought out their tanks and fully maxed them out. Like it's just because like they'll be the same level as you, because you can tell what the players' levels are and shit. But like they'll have like the best thing, and you can see that their tank is fully upgraded. $200 on that.
get ahead, you gotta pay some money.
It's just
In
like
this gaming world.
it's there's like a lot of games like that. Obviously, like one of the ones that I hate the most that some people are like super obsessed with is the World of Warcraft video card game. Yeah, they have a card game. What the hell is it called though? It doesn't matter. It's terrible. It's a terrible game. The Gathering, but worse. And that's a game where literally you cannot play online. Period. $300. You will never. 203. I wish I could remember the name of this game. You should Google it for me. It's just Google the name of the World of Warcraft online card game. It's gonna be really simple. I'm gonna immediately think, oh, I'm such an idiot. Hearthstone, yeah.
Or
Hearthstone. Yeah. Unless you pay $300 to play this game, it's crap. It's a really simple game. That's the other thing, is it's really dumb simple. Hit it at all. I mean, League of Legends is more complicated than this game.
And League of Legends is not complicated at all.
It's a little complicated.
Yeah.
There's a lot of math you have to do. Try to know what your damage per second is, and like back away or to pull out, or back away and pull out or push per second is better than the other teams at that moment. Jordan,
What's up?
hey, are you asleep?
I'm just laying in bed, listening to you guys chant. It's pretty nice.
Why don't you bring a topic to bear?
Black Ops 4, huh?
I don't know. I didn't even know that was a thing.
They haven't like released any details. Apparently, it's just boots on the ground.
Because they won't release any details until April or May. During an NBA playoff game, they'll release the trailer. I mean, the Han Solo trailer is supposed to come out today.
And it looks like crap.
No, the Han Solo trailer came out during the Super Bowl, guys.
No,
that was a teaser trailer. The actual trailer comes out today.
No, it was released this morning. It was literally the exact same thing with just a few added lines.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's almost identical. It's like a second one.
It looks horrible.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Shut up.
The cast looks way.
See how negative this guy is? He's like trolling all the time.
Donald Glover as a young
Lando?
Lando is perfect. Is Childish Gambino right now? Are you serious? You think that's there's only maybe one guy have casted over him for Lando, and that's Michael B. Jordan.
The guy from the Black Panther could... No, never mind.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's in Black Panther, Michael B. Jordan. Panther's son, or I'm not quite sure what his character is. The guy who played the Creed in the Creed movie. You haven't seen Creed?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Add that to the long list of movies that I've never seen.
Yeah, put that at
John. He's never seen Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, the look on his
You're
face.
so dumb.
You're
fired. You don't even work at Super America, but you're fired. Ridiculous.
Hey, I've asked Jordan to find the disc, and he hasn't.
This shit's on Netflix.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't have Netflix?
No, I haven't had Netflix in 5 years.
What's wrong with you?
YouTube. Free videos on
There's
YouTube.
nothing good on YouTube. Things worth watching on YouTube. Otherwise, you have to pay for it.
I tend to not pay for it.
There's only like 3 good channels on YouTube, and there's only.
It's not even channels.
I don't care.
I'll watch PlayStation View and find movies there if I need to. I don't even.
PlayStation View is decent, but you're kind of paying a little more money than. Oh yeah, because you got the cheap one
Well, no, I got like the medium one.
online. PlayStation View was $40 when I looked online just today.
I paid less than that.
Went online. I checked out the price today. It's at the medium one for the sports and TV. Must have got some like weird interrupter rate or
Paid
something.
the price, paid they up the price or something. I don't know.
But sucks basically. There's
Yeah,
nothing
not
good
to,
on
not
it.
to like watch like shows or anything, just to watch like YouTubers and video games. Yeah, there are.
No, there's not. There's like
Who?
3. Good Mythical Morning, and I like those guys, but only like half their videos are worth watching.
Vanos Gaming.
Oh my god.
It's really good. They're genuinely everything they do is really good. It's hilarious. They do these sketch videos where they like PUBG videos. They're really funny. They like mock things that happen in games that are like the stereotypical games everybody plays. It's really cool. They have a series called Epic NPC Man, where the main guy plays the life of an NPC character who realizes suddenly that he is an NPC in the world. They're these guys from like England, basically.
You've never seen Vanos Gaming's funny moment videos?
I've just seen that. I've watched some random video a while ago. Once in a while, I'll watch movie fights. Which movie's better, which scenes are better, and shit like that. It's okay, but they had a recent controversy because like their main dude was accused of like raping like 4 women. Yeah, it's just YouTube. But please, YouTube, give us money.
Yeah, that's gonna be a while. Like you gotta get the audience for it. We gotta get 4,000 subs.
Start with the money, Zach.
You guys know how to
4,000
optimize your-
subs and 1,000 hours of watch time over 12 months.
Do you guys even know how to like optimize your search engine results?
No.
Christ.
We just started.
I know how to. Zach doesn't know.
Oh, really? Enlighten us, please.
You literally just put tags in your
Everything
tag
you
section.
do, like if you have like a Facebook page or not a Facebook page, but if you have like a
Hashtags.
blah blah blah, they have these areas where when you Google something, right? If you're Googling, for example, text, just like random web text, and you type in the word like America, right? You're gonna get like a million things that say America.
Mhm.
Websites do to help you try and find their website versus somebody else's is they have this tab that works with like Google Analytics or whatever web software that they use to like manage your website. And let's say it's an article on America, right? They'll put like keywords in like America, taxes, Donald Trump, blah 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 blah, right? Or keywords that they have in their SOS. More likelihood is that you'll find their website. It's that simple. It's basically like hashtags on Twitter. You know, if you search a hashtag, you're gonna find everybody who's used that hashtag, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you guys eating down there?
Because if somebody's like, let's say we're talking about right now, we were just talking about for a few brief seconds, we were talking about Ryan, Saving Private Ryan, right? Or movie fights or something. We would go on to our YouTube channel. When you upload a video on YouTube, it gives you the option keywords. And you would type in all the key phrases and things that we talked about. That'll give you a higher likelihood of somebody stumbling across your video.
Yeah, you put it in your description.
No, not in the description. There's literally a section just alone for search engine optimization.
Did that before.
The more you know. And that's not a trademark. I'm just using that in reference to. Don't want to get sued.
Well, Jordan, you should send me the last night's video and I'll look at it. Search engine optimization.
Trying to entertain us.
Be inappropriate.
It's a podcast. Nobody can tell. I mean, there's a reason why Howard Stern can get away with everything he does because nobody sees him. Because it's actually broadcast live a lot of
Yeah,
days.
no,
Nobody gives a crap. Nobody listens to XM radio. People, my grandmother.
it's probably the more old people than younger. That's a good idea.
Old people don't know what a satellite is. How are they going to know what XM radio is?
Not just,
They'll be
no, not
looking
just
for it on
XM
their-
radio. Like
They'll be
just
like
regular
looking for it
radio.
on their FM. They're like, where's the XM?
You know, it's-
Say something, Jesus.
What does XM stand for?
I have honestly no idea what XM stands
Xavier money.
for.
I just thought of the first X word and the first M word that came to my mind. Xavier money. I tried. I mentioned Black Ops 4, and no one gave their opinion. What it's going to be? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad?
Oh my god, what the hell is that noise?
John's getting more water. Gosh,
God.
what's in Black Ops 4?
That's not even a thing. Like, it's not, it might not even be in existence.
What? No, it was literally announced yesterday.
No, it wasn't.
No, look on Twitter. Oh, that's right. You don't have a Twitter. You should make a Twitter. You'd see it.
I do have a Twitter.
Ops 4 is it going to come out? Is like saying the sun ain't going to rise
No,
tomorrow.
it's gonna come out. It's just a
It's,
matter
always,
of what it's gonna be.
it's like not even, they might as well not.
It's probably gonna be Modern Warfare.
Call of Duty is such a money train that, I mean, they might as well just admit the fact that they've already got it planned out for the next 20 years.
They probably
I
do.
mean, new stage of in gaming, like monitorless gaming actually becomes a serious thing. Making Call of Duty Black Ops games till the day you die, because it's just a fanboy. Good games.
Well, 1 and 2 were good. 3
No.
wasn't there.
It was trash.
Okay, fine. 1 was good.
1 was okay. No, Zombies is stupid.
Zombies is great. Man.
Zombies is like literally the worst thing.
Stop hating.
Zombies.
Zombies. Like,
Zombies trash. Bro.
Zombies
Like,
is
trash.
so boring. It is.
So bad.
It's the same thing. It's like,
So-
oh, gotta get the loot box.
So is
the
any
laser
video
gun.
game ever that's like.
Yeah, they all suck pretty much. Like that's why State of Decay sucks. It's a
Well,
stupid
okay,
game.
we have agreed on that, but like, what about PUBG?
PUBG is it kind of sucks to be honest. It's highly overrated. I can't honor for the life of me. I don't understand why so many people play it. I really don't.
Because it's once because when you play one
It's such a
game and you
fad.
lose like early, you're like, oh, I need to get better, and you're like, oh, I need to do this, oh, I want to do this, and you just keep playing.
But there's nothing to do.
Well, if you
It's
win,
like it's
you
literally.
kill other players.
I mean, it's literally like a worse version of Battlefield 2. This map,
the map is way too big for starters.
is around and you don't see nobody like 50% of the time.
It's because within the first 2.5 minutes, half the players are dead. So when drop in the big towns, kill each other off.
Yeah,
And
but
you're
I'm
left
just
with
saying.
3
Yeah,
players
but
left
I'm
in
just
the
saying
second
like it's the
left.
same shit. Like, ask Battlefield 2, it's the same, except it's a worse version. Like
Well, it's just-
parachuting,
it was
because like
just
the fun
efficient,
is like you don't even. Here's the thing, they could make PUBG twice as good by doing one thing. Does anybody know what I'm gonna say?
Nope.
I'm about to say.
Shrink the map.
Jordan, you want to guess at what I think?
I said no. No.
Okay. Let you open the parachute when you want to. Let somebody accidentally not open their parachute in time and actually be able to like ride it all the way to the end and then pop the parachute. That makes so much more fun. Really play around with the game a lot. But I'm strong into like forcing open your parachute. That's just boring. I'm sorry. And again, they just ripped that off from Battlefield 2. Top down little beacons and parachute in off of them. Knock off of. Like the only kind of innovative thing that I kind of like is how it forces people into clusters of the map. Like
yeah, you can't just sit on opposite ends of the map for an hour.
That's kind of neat.
To move.
Yeah, but the problem with that though is you actually don't get fun sniping matches. Really, it's kind of just like at least stumbles across whom. Like it's like, oh, I turned the corner before you did.
Or if you
so
stumble across a good gun and some armor and a helmet, you.
Man, the armor and the helmet doesn't mean anything. Because here's why. No, because most of the time you're going to get killed. It's because you turn around the corner, but the other guy turned around the corner first. His gun aimed at you and he shot first. That's it. That's it. That's all it is. That's like going to be like 80% of the deaths. Just the fact that he happened to turn the corner before you did. Yeah, that's it. I mean, like we watched like 8 matches today, and that's exactly what happened to each of us at the very end, like when we died. And there was another guy already there, shot us.
Yeah, or he happened like when I got shot in that one top 10 game. That other dude had the DR or whatever.
That's because he had the drop on you. He turned you guys.
But if he only had an assault rifle, I could have got some shots off. But
you could have got some shots off, but you'd already shot. He already would have had that one shot on you, and he would have already been one half a kill away. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's shit. It gives you a little bit of a help. Yeah, but 80% of the time, because like this game is more realistic than other games where you die really fast. The drop on this gear, searching for gear and shit. It's stupid. And the guns suck. The guns just suck. What makes Battlefield more realistic and you can actually get into like actual sniping in this game. And also the graphics are terrible. Let's be honest with ourselves. The graphics are like you've got a nice laptop here and you probably have the settings on above average, I'm assuming, or max.
No, I have the graphics settings on lowest because that's the way it runs fastest.
Oh well, even on whatever, they still sucked. I've seen it on like.
Well, no, I played it on high, and it's like it looked.
No, but I mean, I've seen them on high, on other people's accounts when I've like watched on YouTube or Facebook or whatever. Like Battlefield 3 had better graphics, to be honest. That's why I don't like the game. It's just I don't like games where it's just like, oh, who randomly saw who first.
Randomness to it.
Well, yeah, but that's the main thing that.
Like you can, when you first land, you can see where people are landing, but then as soon as they land, you're like, well, you have no idea where they are.
Yeah,
but you can only judge it by sound. You can only judge it by when you hear a gunshot. Estimate where they're going.
But that doesn't really help you at all because it's still going to come down to who sees first. Exactly. It's just pure luck.
Some skill 80%. Because some people are going to be able to see it better than others. It's just they can see those little details.
It's going to be not necessarily because if you have a better monitor and you got a better laptop, the quality is going to be rendered higher, and you're going to be able to.
You might be getting more frames per second.
Well, not necessarily frames per second, but just the fact that he's got a bigger monitor. Like if you had like a really small monitor,
well, of course,
the guy's going to look like who's a far across the map. He's going to look like a little ant. Where if you have,
or he'll look like just a blade grass.
Yeah, or if you're a bigger monitor, you're going to have a bigger screen, and you're going to be able to see people that are walking in the distance easier. Again, it's like or skill. That's like a money thing. So that's again just another reason why I don't
What's up? You keep on cutting out.
Why do you like the game?
PUBG?
Yeah.
Because it's competitive. Strategic.
I've yet to see strategy involved in this game.
Oh, there's tons of strategy.
That's because you don't play the circle.
Yeah, when you play the circle and you get
You gotta
high
rotate and
ground
move all the
versus low
time.
ground, a building or not a building, a car, a tree, knowing
Man.
where if people are behind you or not, judging by like how much land there's behind you. There's plenty of strategies. It's just
I'm talking like, guys, not like the same shit that happens in every game.
that's because you can't really be that innovative because it's the same thing over and over. They need to release more maps.
More maps, I think
Smaller
they just need to
maps.
get good.
Either cut the map size in half or double the amount of players.
First, actually, what they actually need to do is get rid of this squad bullshit, and they just need to make it 2 teams. You actually want to make the game
50
good?
on 50?
Yeah, actually make
That'd be intense.
that would actually make the game good because this whole
Well, but then it would just be like a real, not just an open war with people just shooting.
Hell yeah.
yeah,
Like,
that's
no
what's
stealth.
fucking fun. No, because in Battlefield, again, the better version of the game we're playing was made like 6 years ago. It was called Battlefield 3. Just listen.
PUBG,
In
then you're just making it into
Battlefield 3, all the stuff that's happening in PUBG, except for the circle thing, did in a game called Battlefield 3. And in Battlefield 3, they could get up to 50 on 50. And in these huge maps that are dang near just as big for the time as PUBG map is. But because you had maps, you had checkpoints that you had to capture, so that forced from each team to get close to each other. You didn't need to shrink the map, so you were able to keep all aspects and all possibilities open. You could have players that played objective. You had players that run in the jet and be stupid, or you had players that were just like, I'm in a Jeep, ooh, look at me, right? This game already existed 6 years ago. Battlefield 3. The only difference between these two games is checkpoint system, which in all honesty was better, and they had team versus team, bunch of random squads, and almost no action. There's no action in this game at all. It's so boring. Like even when you're just sitting around back in Battlefield 3, a guy who's just camping somewhere, why not? You're like, I mean, there's shit blowing up all over the place. You're always getting shot at or shooting somebody, sniper or whatever. Like, stuff was always happening in that game. In this game, like you were talking about before, you didn't do anything, John. Yeah, like half the players don't have to do shit.
It's because you can get top 20 and literally just camp in a building. Like,
Yeah, you don't have
get
to
top
do.
10.
You don't have to do anything. Like you could, if you're lucky and you pick the right building, you could just literally hide in some building and just go, take a nap because you were in the perfect building that was going to be where the end of the map was located.
But that's about luck. Though.
Yeah, I know it's about luck, but like that's the thing. It's like there's no action that takes place in this game. 5 minutes of the match where you're down to like 10 people has a little bit of action,
but it's still just hiding behind a tree.
and it's still just hiding, and it's still really boring. Like, I'm not saying I like Call of Duty, where it's like tiny ass maps and you're just charging each other and seeing who can get more kills.
The Battlefield game was better.
Was
superior.
But I mean, this game's, it's boring. Games and hide-em games. That's how I played Battlefield 3. I played Battlefield 3 as a sniper, and I always camped, and I was super stealthy. The whole maps on like the large outdoor maps with the jets and everything. And I'd circle the maps like 3-4 times, getting into different shooting positions so they can't find me. And I do that like all for like a good hour. and there was always action happening. This game, you could sit here for like matches and never see anybody until you're dead and they shot you.
So it just happens.
This game is because it's boring. That reason. My like number one. What's Jordan want to talk about now?
The new Battlefield.
New Battlefield?
Yeah,
Oh, they're making a new Battlefield game?
probably.
Apparently.
The hell was that?
Oh yeah, that's right. They announced that. I remember hearing about that. Yeah, they're talking.
World War II, I think is what they.
Well, some people are saying it's going to be like World War II, the modern one. I heard even talks about like potentially being a Vietnam game.
That's what Black Ops 1 was.
Black Ops 1
The camp.
had like the first chapter, and then the rest of the game wasn't. You can't really count Black Ops 1 saying it was a Viet. You played like the first 10 minutes of the story.
I guess because like if you do a Battlefield Vietnam War game, then
I mean,
it would be more trench warfare, but it'd be
well, no,
more,
this is not trench warfare. It's jungle.
Well, they had
World
trenches,
War
too.
was trench warfare, bro.
They had trenches in Vietnam too.
No, they had tunnels.
They had trenches.
Trenches was like literally you dug a trench, right, which is a ditch. It's a ditch.
Yeah, they had those in Vietnam.
No.
Yeah, they did.
No, they had
Yeah.
Yes,
tunnels.
they did.
No,
had
they
trenches.
had
Yes, they did.
tunnels.
They had trenches.
No,
Look it up.
I mean
They
they had
did.
trenches.
Google
Like
it on your phone.
No, they had
Mm-hmm.
trenches where their bases were.
Yeah,
But they didn't.
that's what I'm talking
But
about.
no, the Viet Cong. That's not how we fought.
But that's where we put our. That's where we kept our.
No, that's
guys.
where you like camped out. That's
yeah,
not,
that's fine.
that's
that
not.
still means there were
Listen,
trenches.
listen. No, that's not how the fighting took place. In
Bases
World
attack
no
was.
no in World War One, they had a trench here, and you had a trench there, and they were facing each other, and you would
Like
just
no
send.
man's land in the
They'd send a wave of guys at you, and then
Yeah.
you'd send a wave of guys at them, and that was it. That's trench warfare. What happened in Vietnam and Korea was, all right, we had this hill, and we have a base or whatever.
Build a bunker.
And no.
Kinda.
The base wasn't even on the hill. The base was like, and they'd have a base over somewhere else, and they had this other hill. We wanted both hills, and we're like, all right, you see that hill there? We're gonna send like 20,000 men today to that hill, and they'd send like 1,000,000 guys to that hill, and we'd like fight. Basically, that was Vietnam. They'd send both of their guys to the same hill. They're on the same hill, but not at the base, is at the hill. Now, granted, there was the Tet Offensive, which actually attacked our bases and pushed us back. It wasn't like trench warfare. It was like we'd pick like the same fucking hill and be like, I want that hill, and then we'd like fucking show up there and we'd wait for the enemy to show up and then we kill each other. Like that's what happened. They had the Viet Cong in the tunnels. That's what they had. They had like they had thousands of miles of tunnels deep under the ground, and they had them going through Laos. That's how they funneled the Viet Cong in all the time to like all these surprise sneak attacks. That's why the CIA had a secret war in Laos.
Plant traps and use civilians as.
Well, I mean, they do all kinds of nasty shit over there. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
One for Battlefield.
New interesting Battlefield game. I'd be cool about that. That'd be cool. I'd check it out. It
It'd be a
was
really-
like really dumb.
A
in
what?
I thought the blimp idea in
Yeah.
Battlefield 1 was stupid as shit. No,
Having
just
it
having
come
a
in,
blimp. Just having a blimp.
but they had blimps in. Did they have blimps in World
Not
War I?
really.
Oh.
I mean, when they did, they weren't that close. They didn't. A blimp was literally blimps were used as a defensive tactic. You would just you would tether blimps so that the planes couldn't fly above you and drop bombs. Be in the way, basically. I mean, that's basically what they did. That's pretty much. They really didn't have any that because you can just shoot it and it'll fall. Just a balloon.
Yeah.
Just a big balloon. Filled with flammable gas.
World War One wasn't exactly the intelligent design. It was just
that's not true.
It was just a lot of tossing ideas out there.
No, you had the invention of the machine gun, the tank.
A lot of stuff that was tested.
Huge. But having stuff tested out means there's stuff.
Yeah.
To be tested. So you have a lot of innovation happening in that time period.
Yeah.
The innovation requires thinking. It's not like they were like
they had to do it.
No. It's not like these guys had machine guns before in the previous war. And we're you know what? Machine guns.
They had muskets,
and they lost all these guys. Machine guns again and see how they work.
We really went from muskets to machine guns.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is and that's not true. They had carbines and
it's just single shot guns.
No, that's not true.
In the Civil War.
Yeah, but there's a lot of history between the Civil War and a lot of wars between the Civil War.
Those are the two that I'm comparing right now.
Well, no, yeah,
just the two, just a 50-year time span.
The Spanish War, American Spanish War, a couple other skirmishes in Europe. But no, my point is, because they didn't know how these fucking things would work strategically because nobody had ever seen them. So you can't say they're thinking stupid because there's no way to think right in this situation. No, it's like that's carrying capacity is until you actually fucking test it out. I think this has been a pretty good pod.
Very informative.
Yeah.
He's been half asleep for the whole thing. He fell asleep.
I didn't fall asleep. You guys keep on cutting out, so I don't know when you're talking.
Well, I think Zach needs to invest in a better mic then.
This was a $100 Yeti microphone, man. Quality.
It's not quality.
Did you hear that, Jordan? Our microphone's high quality.
That sounded like shit. Don't do it again.
High quality?
My microphone is high quality. Do you hear that crystal clear voice? Do you hear that?
Change, one of these buttons on here.
No, those buttons don't do anything. Don't even touch them. We can try it. It's not gonna.
Do you hear me better now?
No.
Those buttons
how about now?
I think the problem is like you and Zach talk at the same times. So sometimes it doesn't know which voice to pick up.
Doesn't matter. It's just the microphone should be able to pick up 10 voices.
Well, it's not. So buy a new one.
I'm not buying a new microphone. This microphone works. I've listened to my audio back. It sounds fine.
Are you telling me we're gonna get sponsored by Yeti? Oh
Maybe.
my god.
I don't know. Get sponsored by Mountain Dew.
I need to go take a nap.
Why? He drinks Mountain Dew all the time. We'll get sponsored by Taco Bell. Our three main sponsors will be Yeti, Taco Bell, and Mountain Dew.
Dude, fuck Taco Bell. You want Taco John?
He wants Taco Bell.
Well,
I'm on both. I'm on both.
Can't get both.
Get one or the other.
Nope.
Taco John's. Taco John's. That's the cool. Well, guys, I think it's been an informative.
Are we calling it? Plus, I can hear my echo, so that's why I've been refraining from talking. Hello?
On some topic.
About for the last hour. Black Ops 4.
No one wants to talk about that stupid
Black Ops
shit.
4,
We already talked about that. Oh my god. Like, learn how to get good with topics. Jesus. Gosh, you could be talking about the Oscar nominations. You could talk about what happened at the Grammys. You could talk about the Super Bowl. I don't know. Just I don't care about the Grammys.
All right, but,
All right, next topic, Jordan. What do you got?
Oh, here I got one since I have this tab open. Taoism. Let's talk about Taoism for a
It's
minute.
not okay. First thing you have to know about Taoism is it's not Taoism, it's Taoism.
No, I just corrected myself.
Is an ancient religion from China. It's one of the oldest religions in the world, actually. Taoism, Tao, means the way or the path, as it translates in English, and is that everything has destiny. Wouldn't be the right word. It would be like everything has
Purpose.
Basically, no, not a purpose. A purpose is wrong.
Naturalness.
Everything has a certain way it's supposed to travel, a certain and to find peace in yourself. That is, and then Taoism as a whole. The other thing to know about Taoism is that one religion. It's a collection of basically religions. Because basically at the time when this was developed, China is still mainly believing in folk religions, which are just, like animalism and spiritualism, stuff like that. So you talk with Taoist versus a Taoist from like Hong Kong or something, you're gonna have a little bit different of a beliefs a little bit. There are a couple of specific holy books though that most of them will find relevant, like the Tao Mei Jing, which is a collection of poetry and teachings, give you advice about how you live life. It's pretty much just about accepting things, but not just accepting things, knowing what things to accept and what things to change, but things you can change.
Accept what you can't change and change what you can change, or
Essentially,
something like that.
more or less.
And why is this religion important to you, Zach, since you were Googling it?
It's not. It's a topic of conversation.
But why did you have it open in a different tab?
I mentioned it earlier, and I opened it, and wow, we're talking about it now.
Because I had, when we were at the buffet, I told Jordan that, or I told Zach, excuse me, or
so I Googled
excuse me, I told Gramps. Sorry, I broke character, guys, my bad. I told Gramps here that into its practices, we might find something he's been searching for. Something he's searching for, but it'll help him get the tools necessary to find the thing that he's searching for.
What is he searching for?
Back, he's been on this joblessness. He's been trying to find himself, right?
Not really.
You just said earlier you're trying to find yourself.
He likes to contradict himself.
Well, beyond just finding a job, you're trying to find yourself because you know what you want to do with your life, right?
Sure.
Or you're just going to live your life aimlessly working from one FedEx to...
I've never...
on a couch with the IKEA desk in the middle of your living room.
Nice desk. I don't know why.
Yeah, but I mean, like, this is
it
your
looks
life.
Clean, all right?
Yeah, but just listen. This is your life in 5 years, 10 years, 15
10 years. No.
How are you gonna find that, right? Because you said before you don't know where your life is going. You don't know what you want. And I guess how I would describe it gives you the ability to know what questions to start asking. Because, like, to find yourself, you have to... What does it mean to find yourself, Zach? Purpose in life, right?
Find your purpose, Find what interests you. Find what makes you happy.
Yeah,
find
yeah.
What
all things
gives you energy.
related. That's about finding to the universe at large, right? I mean, that's what that is. This is exactly what you're talking about. Like, what am I going to do? What am I going to meet?
Jesus.
That's what spirituality is.
You need Jesus?
Oh, he doesn't like Jesus, so it doesn't
No,
matter.
I don't.
Why not?
I don't like the modern. I don't like the many forms of Jesus that have been invented over the years.
You should
There's one.
Maybe you
basic
shouldn't.
form.
Maybe you should.
look into black liberation theology, but that's a discussion for another day.
No, I think we should discuss it right now.
Thoughts on Taoism first. So, Taoism, like I said, find yourself. It doesn't help you. It doesn't like oh, I've got
It helps
Taoism.
you find yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I think that would be an immensely great tool for you, Zach, because you've been struggling in that department the last several years. Have you not?
Well, that's not going to happen.
No. First of all, those are basic practices. What you have to understand is there's no one Taoism. So all the things you see on this Wikipedia page, they're true for some Taoists, they're not true for others. I said before, this is like Taoism came into being by hundreds of different folk religions of just gathering under one umbrella called Taoism. Teachings that are universal across most of them, like the Tao Meijing is the most in their religion, this collection of religions. But I think you've been struggling with trying to find. It's by Lao Tzu. Find yourself, right?
Sure.
Well, I mean, yes or no, right?
Yeah, no,
It's
I'm not being
bad thing
sarcastic
to-
when I say that.
yeah.
I'm saying sure.
And
because why not?
and you've been having a hard time with that, right? So I mean, this is a tool. I mean, there's things in that you might find you like. Some things might not. There's a lot of different meditation practices. There's a lot of personal questioning of yourself in there. I'll get my phone. I've got like quotes on there to help you think. 'Cause I practice it a little bit myself, actually. Well, it doesn't work. I should get that fixed. I had this plugged in for 2 hours and didn't charge my phone.
The bottom one doesn't work.
Oh, okay.
You
You could told me that when I put.
I didn't see you plug.
I didn't see next to me.
I didn't see you.
I was like, oh, I have to charge my phone.
I didn't see you plug it in.
I literally looked you in the eye.
No, you didn't.
I looked you.
No, you didn't. I was sitting
up.
here. Or there.
You weren't even sitting here yet because this is before Jordan even came down. About who's playing what. I literally looked you in the eye. I was like, man, is there a wall outlet I can turn this
No,
on?
you didn't.
You're like, yeah, right over there.
No, you didn't.
And
No, you
it doesn't
didn't.
even fucking work.
No, you didn't.
I looked
You
in
didn't
the
say
eye.
a word.
I looked
No,
you
you didn't.
in
No, you
the
didn't.
eyes.
No, you didn't. I've
I'll
got
get
a
some-
fucking thingamajig right here you could have plugged it into. This power strip thing. I'll do that right now. That bottom thing doesn't work. Hasn't worked at all in the 6 months we've been here. Yeah, 6 months.
Here's like a quote from one of the quote from Taoism. It's flow with whatever may happen. Free. Well, I can't read it because my phone just turned off because your
Just
jerk
get
didn't
the
tell me
thing and
that
put it
my,
over.
phone wasn't charging.
You didn't
Don't
look
do
at
it.
me.
Look me in the eye.
No, you didn't.
Look right in the eye.
Such a disappointment.
No,
Take
you
one of
didn't.
these paintings.
Such a disappointment.
That's fine, not mine.
Uh,
That's fine. Or Jordan's not doing anything with them anyway.
doing anything with what?
I'm gonna
Nothing.
take one of the paintings.
The what? No, you're not.
Yeah, because it's my birthday present.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I want something.
Doesn't matter. Quit touching.
Why can't I
Like,
have something?
why do you always have to take other people's stuff without even asking?
I'm kidding, man. I'm not taking
It doesn't matter. Like, you always do that.
No, I didn't. I put your movie bag. I was just joking.
No, it's like you take that Zach's dignity and then you don't give it back to him.
What
wow,
Zach dignity
alright.
did I take
I
from
don't know
him?
about that, but
That's why he's all pissed off.
Take no dignity away
What
from
the
Zach.
fuck you're talking about?
Hey, excuse me, this is PG-13. Quit using the F words. Trying to take a nap and you guys keep on screaming about wall jacks.
I'm not streaming this. You're the one recording it.
I said screaming about wall jacks, not streaming.
Streaming about wall jacks.
Yeah,
Scream.
Today we're going to talk about the three-prong in which you should put in your bedroom.
Thoughts on Taoism.
No, you said some black. What's this black labyrinth thing?
Black Labyrinth.
Oh
Oh my god.
Wow.
No, it's called Black Liberation Theology.
Whatever. What the hell is it?
To give you the short explanation, it's this. Bible, God says that he's actually like with of society. He's like there with them experiencing these problems, but that he physically embodies them and he personifies them by being a part of your society. Like there's some Bible quotes I don't have memorized off the top of my head. That's what we know in the Bible. It says it multiple times, stuff like that. All right, so what Black Liberation Theology is, it takes that idea and it says this. The Bible there is true, that God is this guy who truly feels for our struggles, truly is there in our everyday when these things are happening. God is black, right? Or God, and if you're going to take it a step further, you know, God is also gay. God is a woman. He is to each individual who's got like a serious, like not a serious problem, like a serious issue where like society is pushing on him. I mean, he's physically like you in that situation. Like he's there experiencing that pain. And so for God to experience that pain, to be like you. So that's the idea, is that like take that idea then, that this idea that, and because for God to truly feel that pain, he has to experience it, then to take that and to use that as like to make people think basically like about what it is that they're doing in regards to racism. That's kind of it in a nutshell, more or less. And the idea then goes beyond further saying, and then it teaches practices about pastors, clergy, religious people use religion of authority within their religion to better, basically. That's what Black Liberation Theology is. It's like basically MLK. Right? Moved to do what he did, not just because he was a black man, but also because he was very religious and believed that God was truly so kind of his teachings about what he believed in, a little bit like, it's kind of like some of the frameworks of what liberation theology is. If anything I just said makes any sense at all. I'm not an expert on it, but that's kind of what it is in a nutshell.
So which one is Gramps going to join?
Any of them.
Any of them? Nice.
I mean, look at them and take some knowledge from them.
You should join the Catholic Church.
The opposite of what I should do.
Well, I mean, if you're going to look at Taoism, I got some books you can borrow. Like, meditate and...
No, I'm not meditating.
Well,
I'll
first
just
of all,
reflect.
First of all, All
I'm not saying there is. I don't want to do it.
Listen, is learning to be calm. It's learning to be calm and just being able to empty your emotions out, empty your mind out, sitting there and going hum.
No, I know.
Right?
That. I know that.
It's
that's
about
not meditation.
there's even a phone. There's even some phone apps where all it is you just turn it on and you just sit in silence. You try and sit in silence for a little bit longer. That's all. I mean, that's as little as meditation is. You know, well, to literally be calm, just to like not think about nothing, just relax. Because people need to and you can't unwind by simply thinking, because thinking at times just winds you up, basically. You just need to be able to sit there and just it's also got like practices on different like foods you can eat to help clear your mind and that kind of stuff. And it's got some like writing in it to reflect on and what have you. Some Taoism gets into like the kind of hokey pokey stuff though, because like I said before, it's back from ancient folk religions where they'd be like, "Oh, throw salt at this thing, the demon will disappear," kind of thing. Bullshit. I'm just saying, like a lot of it comes from that. So like, there's some Taoism practices that are like you wouldn't be interested in because it's this kind of spirituality of that nature.
Sprinkling sugar on your clothing.
I'm not saying. I just pick some random thing out. I'm not saying they actually do that. I'm saying there's some practices that are like essentially like alchemism to them. That are supposed to like do things and what have you.
Fuck that shit.
Like I said, it's a religion where you. It's a religion
practice,
but it's also like a philosophical kind of a thing. So it's just take what you want from it. It's where most of where this whole mindfulness thing that's been going around for the last couple of years that everybody's getting new. Most of it comes from Taoism. Mindfulness thing that's been.
Oh, it's all over the place.
Yeah, most of it's from Taoism.
All the yoga craze. Even something as simple as a shirt that's like "Stay calm and do this" or whatever. It's like
that has something to do with Doctor Who.
I guess. I don't even know what to "Stay calm and do this."
It literally started with Doctor Who.
Okay, whatever.
Artist on it originally. That's where it all started. So Jordan, what do you think?
What? Taoism?
What we were just talking about, man. What do you think?
You're talking about Taoism. I think Zach should look into Catholicism. Honestly.
Doesn't answer the question.
We could find Andre, he could come over here and give a little rundown of Catholicism.
I'm pretty sure if Andre is still alive, he's going to be like...
Jesus, way to go as negative as possible, man.
God,
dude. We're not trying to drag you down here, okay? We're really not.
Last person.
You're pretty negative. Like, if he's still alive.
Joke. Oh my God.
Well, man, it's hard to tell sometimes.
It's hard to tell with you and Jordan too.
Listen. Well, first of all,
more with Jordan.
More with Jordan. I'm joking.
With Jordan.
To be perfectly fair, though, it's impossible to tell these
Jordan all the time, so I don't know why it's any different with me.
What the hell are you guys mumbling about?
Well, you've known it longer than I have, so.
We've known.
He's more serious.
First of all, we've known each other, all three of us, the same amount of time. I knew Jordan maybe for like a week. Known you, all right.
And why does he like talk more seriously and act more seriously around you than he does with me?
Maybe he's into you. I don't know. Maybe Jordan.
Jordan, why do you answer that question?
What? Why does that matter?
Why do you answer that question?
Whatever.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't even know how we got to that, but whatever.
I don't see. Here's what I want to tell you, Zach.
Here, no. Let me answer the question.
Let me finish first.
Let me answer the question. No, he asked the question. I gotta answer the question. I'm answering the question. It's because you act different around different people. What? Mind blown. I'm glad you're figuring life out. Well, a little bit. All right.
This is what I'm gonna say. I see no serious behavioral differences of Jordan, or when he's with you, or when he's with both of us. Now, why is he always trying to kick you in the crotch?
Because he needs to lighten up.
He's never tried to kick me in the crotch.
It's because I don't want to die.
I'm pretty sure he knows I kick his ass.
Yup.
It's because you're bigger than he is. It's literally all it is.
Yeah, but I'm pretty strong.
No, he's just more aggressive. He's not a little bitch. It's because he's not a bitch. He's not a bitch.
Alright, so thanks for calling me a little bitch. That means a lot.
Okay, fine. You're a big bitch.
No, there's no need to get so aggressive here, Gilman.
You're my bitch.
No,
Is that better? Do you need a hug?
Yeah, that's the truth, Zach. You're really passive aggressive. That shit sucks.
Troy.
You're Minnesotan.
No.
Definitely.
No. Let me tell you someone who's been all over this goddamn country. Yeah, that Minnesota gets us rap that Minnesota nice actually means we're passive aggressive. Oh. No. It's completely bullshit. I was all over California, into Buffalo, New York. And I've been to Florida, and I've been to Washington. I've been to Canada. I've been to Arizona, this country, in this continent, okay? And let me tell you something. Minnesotans as a whole, aggressive. That's nonsense. Californians are way more. It is nuts. All right. Actually, is what I've been trying to coin around on the internet lately is a term I call passively hopeful. All right. Somebody says, "Oh, did you like that hot dish I made?" And you don't like it, but you don't want to hurt the person's feelings. So you say, "Yeah, it was okay," or "It was interesting," right? They'll take that as passive aggressive because you're trying to insult them. And here is the intention is completely different. Like if somebody said that in California, you passive aggressively, they actually hated your shit. Say that in Minnesota, that means typically most of the time the person doesn't want to hurt your feelings, so they're saying they liked it when they didn't, but they're not trying to hurt your feelings. Like that's the difference. The intention is completely different 90% of the time. Is actually being passive aggressive, honestly. Mm-hmm. But Minnesota as a whole, this idea that we're passive aggressive is nonsense. We're passively hopeful because we don't want to hurt other people's feelings. That's the truth. That's the reason why we're actually one of the nicest states in the country, if not the nicest, which is a fact. Like this idea that we're passive aggressive as a state is complete nonsense. I remember back in high school, I had a classmate. His name was John Draper. He would his fun thing to do after schools in the winter was to drive around. He's a farm kid, so he's got some big ass truck with a winch. That's what he did. Do that for like 4 or 5 hours every night. Well, that's what he do. He just go run around 3 times a week, pretty much, just pulling people out of ditches. That's all he did. That's what Minnesotans about, right there. Aggressiveness. That's shit that's being infiltrated here from states. Not talking about immigrants from other countries. I mean, like people coming from other states or trying to other cultures from other states, like New York. This idea that like, oh, we're a city, we should act like we're in a city is nonsense. I agree that more Minnesotans in the last 10 years have been becoming more passive aggressive, and I think that's wrong. The majority of us are still not passive aggressive. That's ridiculous. Minnesota is the first state to declare for the Union. Yep. When war broke out, our governor was in D.C. Doing some work related to state, and he was doing work, getting paperwork and shit like that done.
59.
And he heard it, immediately ran. I mean, he just barged his way into president office. Literally, he just like pushed people out of his way. He's like, "We're in it. We're on your side. I'm gonna get you like 2,000 troops tomorrow." And then people in the state of Minnesota actually got into fist fights trying to for the Union. They had like races down like in like city halls across the state. They had kinds of shit. Suicide because they weren't part of the Minnesota First Volunteer because they weren't the first people to go out there. And that's how. And it's crazy. It's because what even makes it more crazy is Minnesota at the time was only about 500,000 people. Like 80% of them were first generation Americans. They literally just come across the ocean, like, most Minnesotans. Irish and Germans are like, fuck it, let's do it. Let's get her done. It's amazing. I don't know why I had to tell you that story. I just, for some reason. Just another way Minnesota's great. M Theory?
Oh my god.
What's that? Grunt.
I said, oh my god, because you said M Theory.
M Theory.
Should make a YouTube video on that.
Farted.
Nice.
A while ago, but I didn't say I didn't know if it was appropriate.
Hey Zach, you should tell John about Deep Space 69.
Space 69 is. You're the one who's obsessed with that show.
I don't know what it is right now. I'm sleeping.
Star Trek Deep Space Nine?
What?
No, there's literally this show that Jordan watches called Deep Space 69.
Oh yeah, I know what that show is crap.
What?
I have it on VRV. I have VRV, which gives you access to like Crunchyroll and Nerdist and all these other things. And one of these channels, I think it's maybe Rooster Teeth or something like that. And one of them anyway has Deep Space 69. It's this like cartoon show. It's like a koala bear or some shit.
Yup.
It's so it's such a trashy show. God, it's so bad.
So great.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen.
We were driving home a couple weeks ago, and he just kept playing some videos. And
actually, what's really funny is this show called Harmon Quest. That's good. The shit. I just finished season 2. I can't wait for season 3 to come out. Up on Dragon Ball Super, Vegeta just beat a god of destruction in a tournament of power. It's dope.
you doing? We're still doing this live stream.
Literally
Literally just laying in bed listening.
Oh my god, he's literally laying in bed.
Yeah, what's your problem?
Well,
How long has it been?
I don't know. I'm probably gonna go to bed here.
Hour 15.
Alright, I'm gonna stop. Calling it.